Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm here with the host of Chima Podcast. And I'm here to wish you a happy birthday. I know you're at Aruba right now with your family, having a quiet birthday celebration. You're currently staying at the Rio Palace, which is a beautiful place. So happy birthday. I have a question for you on your take on Russia and Ukraine conflict in the past couple of weeks. What's your take on that?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm here in Aruba, just trying to get away very quietly with my family. And it's a beautiful place at the Aruba Palace, a hotel here in Aruba. And to your question, the Russia-Ukraine conflict has entered a very dangerous phase, particularly with what happened in the past 2 weeks or so, when Ukraine successfully attacked Russia's strategic bombers. And the more authentic report is about 4 of those bombers were taken out and maybe 3 more damaged. That's a horrible thing. And the reason it's a horrible thing is, first of all, there's a START treaty that made it possible for Russia and the US to expose their strategic bombers to our satellite, or both countries' satellite. And the question now is, how did the Ukrainians get hold of that information to be able to successfully attack it if the sabotage is not coming from within the US intelligence framework, the CIA and co, or the MI5 also? So something happened. And I am more troubled with the fact that there was not a very strong condemnation from President Donald Trump on that situation. That gives the impression that America cannot be trusted, and that is not good for the negotiation to end the conflict. We all know that President Trump wants to end the conflict. He campaigned on that. But my fear is that he is gradually being sucked in by the military-industrial complex and the warmongers in the Senate of both parties, to be honest with you. So he has to be very careful, because the European leaders, Macron, Starmer, they won the war. And the funny thing is, they won the war, but they want America to be the one fighting the war. Because if you look at what has happened in the past 3 years, Russia is in conflict with NATO, literally. And we do not want this war to continue. We want it to end, so that we are not sucked into it, and it leads ultimately to a third world war, which is not good for us here in the homeland of the US, where we can be attacked. We don't need that. So President Trump has to end this war. He has to. The reality on the ground, regardless of what propaganda that we hear, Russia is winning and advancing, and they're going to go ahead and take Odessa also. So President Trump, I'm urging you as your supporter to end the war. End the war. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. My next question I have for you is, I would like you to give me your input on the war with Iran and Israel and the US involvement. What do you think about that?
Thank you very much. The conflict going on right now between Iran and Israel has told us a lot. What it has told us is this: Israelis' air defense, the US Patriot and the Iron Dome, is not sufficient, or was not sufficient, in stopping the Iranian bombing and missile attack into Israel. The seaport city of Haifa and Tel Aviv are being pummeled consistently by Iran. And then, because of that, Netanyahu had to ask America to get involved and do the attack. and take out the so-called nuclear facilities, which America has done a couple of days ago. Now, I hope that that's where it ends for the U.S. We have taken out the bomb, the so-called nuclear sites. That should be it. America should not be involved in this conflict. And it is actually more troubling because Iran was attacked in the midst of negotiations. Their top negotiators were assassinated. The top generals were assassinated. What that does is countries cannot trust the US anymore, because how could you do that in the midst of a negotiation? So that's the troubling thing. Even some of our allies in Europe are opposed to that. You couldn't do that. So it is very troubling, and I hope that President Trump will understand and refuse to be drawn into a wider conflict with Iran and end this conflict, end the war, end the war. That's what we want. We don't want an escalation. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's all I have for now. Enjoy your remaining stay in Aruba. Thank you. Bye.